First and foremost, just been a wild 6, 7 months since we got here, with myself and the new staff and all the players. And, our guys have been working incredibly hard. And, I think they're going to reap the benefits of that coming up here real soon. We still got another week of scrimmages coming up here Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday before we kick off here in 10 days. But very excited about what they've been doing, and I think they have a lot of great things ahead of them. So with that being said, I just want to open it up to you guys for any questions you may have.
Hey, Skylar, this is John Johnson at the Dothan Eagle. I wanted to start with you and the team handing out season tickets yesterday. I saw that posted and thought that was pretty cool. What was it like getting out and kind of meeting people in the community?
Well, certainly for myself, I feel like I've run around and met everybody you possibly could over the last couple of months. So it was good for me to see some new people, but I think it was really cool for our players. We had every single person that went out between myself, the other coaches and staff. They probably got to meet some people they have yet to meet, and certainly will as the season gets going. But I think it's a good way to show our appreciation to all those fans. And look, they're important to us to be in the stadium and to help give us a big home field advantage.
Well, while I'm on here, I want to ask you about a couple of local kids. 4 guys who are from our immediate area that are all pitchers. So I'll go one at a time, if you will, just comment on each one. I want to start with Matt Snell. Talk a little bit about him as a pitcher, but also he's got a good bat. I was wondering if you would utilize him in that role in any way.
Yeah, Matt hasn't picked up a bat since we've been here. He kind of wanted to dedicate himself to the pitching side. Matt's running a little bit of issues with his arm. It kind of has been a on and off kind of recurring thing, and so he's had to be kind of start up, shut down a little bit. So right now he's on the mend. We're trying to get him healthy and obviously be intelligent with him too, because it would be a good arm to add as we move forward. So he probably will certainly not be a part of it to start the year in terms of being able to perform, but we hope that everything checks out well and he'll be able to pitch as the year progresses.
Grayson Stewart's a guy who's coming off an arm injury. How's he progressing?
I was going to say, I know he was a guy that when we got here, he had an injury in, I believe, like late 20 or right at the beginning of 21, but he's been outstanding. I mean, he's been a guy whose repertoire has probably improved as much as anybody. The velocity's been good. He was, at least throughout the duration of the fall, our hardest thrower, just average fastball-wise, but his breaking ball has improved a ton. He's really developed a great changeup in the last 2 months. I mean, got a couple strikeouts on it the other day. And he's a very competitive kid. Like, we love how he goes about his business. I think he could serve a lot of roles for us. What that is, I think the season will really dictate. But he could be, relief, close. I think he could start with having a 3-pitch repertoire and the way he's such a good athlete and can repeat his delivery. So I'm very excited about what Grayson's doing.
Dawson Hamilton from Dothan is a freshman. How's he done so far?
Yeah, he was a guy who had an arm injury in high school. His fall was a little bit up and down. He's got a great frame, has been able to put on some weight. His arm, we've had to be very careful with it from the stuff that he had last year. So we've been having to slow play him a little bit. So he's still going through his throwing protocols. He's a kid that I think if he can master a little bit more command of his off-speed pitches, the fastball's got decent life to it. He's 6'4". I don't know what he'll end up having an opportunity to weigh, but he could certainly, bear the brunt of a lot of weight. And so it'll be interesting to see where he develops. I think he's kind of on the back side of what we got right now, but I hope he can continue to improve and be a part of it as we move forward.
And the last guy is Logan Ross from Opp, and I think he came over from Southern Union.
Yes, he did. Logan was a guy that had a tremendous, 21 at the junior college level, was pitcher of the year in the state. And Logan had a really good fall, got a little fatigued late, which I totally understand because, he's a guy that's not incredibly physical, but he's made a big, effort in the weight room to kind of improve on that. Threw really well on Saturday in our scrimmage. Was just okay his first time out, but, the guy's ball has a ton of movement. The slider's much improved. We want to get his changeup back, to being an elite pitch, but it's a lefty with a unique angle, kind of unique repertoire. So he's going to be asked to do a lot of things. I don't know exactly what that role is going to be yet, but he's going to be a guy that needs to pitch a lot of innings for us, and I think that he will.
Thank you, Skylar.
Hey, Coach. Adam Solomon, Alabama News Network in Montgomery. Where do you think the team needed the most improvement in the offseason, and how do you think it's been coming as you guys get ready for the opener against Holy Cross?
I think there's a couple areas, we want to really improve in the weight room, just get our guys, functioning, becoming more athletic. Obviously, I always want to get stronger too, but I think that would be cliche. I mean, everybody in the country wants to get stronger. I think we did a great job with that. The other area, I think for us, to be quite frank, is we wanted a lot of our pitchers to kind of figure out their identity and what's going to make them successful. There may be some things that we may lack a little bit, not across the board totally, but some guys may not have just raw stuff, but at the same time, I think some guys maybe have a lead off speed pitches. They have something unique to their fastball. So we've been trying to get them to master what's going to make them successful. And in my assessment, I think we're getting really close to finding each of their niches.
Name might deceive you. This is Nick Brooks with WTVY. I'm filling in for Justin. Kind of what's your mindset heading into your first season with Troy's baseball team?
Well, our mindset, and we've said it a lot, so I feel repetitive. I know our players in here listen to it, but I just want our guys to maximize themselves, and if you maximize themselves individually, the group will maximize itself. So, we're not going to sit here and put all these expectations, and we have to do this, that. I just want our guys to get better every single day. It's been a big mantra for us, is just winning the day, and I think our guys have, stepped up to the plate in terms of doing that. I think there's some things that across the board we want to do really well. We want to make the simple plays. I think defensively we do a really good job. We got a lot of older hitters who, many of them experienced some success, but I think this year they'll optimize their success. And, we're going to need some of our guys that have the most, ability to withstand lots of innings as starters to do that. They need to be efficient with their pitches. Thus far in the preseason they have, so that gives us a lot of promise going forward. But we just want our guys to be good day in, day out. Like, honestly, today, if we have a great practice, that's all I care about. I'm not worried about Wednesday scrimmage or Thursday scrimmage or whatever. I just want us to continue to have good practices. If you stack those on day after day, you'll set yourself up to be good when the season begins in 10 days.
Okay, last thing I have. For the last 20 years, Troy fans have been familiar with two names leading the program. What is your message to the Troy faithful ahead of the start of the season?
Well, my message would be this. This program's had a ton of great head coaches, and obviously you guys know all the names of them. And I just want to do my part to continue the success that we've had. Yeah, I selfishly, myself and the rest of our staff, we want to take this place to heights that it's never been, and that's what we're going to continue to do. And obviously you do that from developing your players. You do it through relationships. You do it, how you get after it on the road, recruiting. And we're going to do that. And so people aren't going to outwork us. They're not going to out-scheme us. But we just want to make sure we maximize stuff. And from an outside perspective, I think the previous coaches always did that, and that's why there's so much passion about Troy baseball. I just want to do my part as the new head coach here to continue that tradition.
Can you comment on the schedule a little bit, especially the home schedule? Indiana, Auburn, Louisiana, South Alabama, Coastal Carolina. I mean, all the big names in conference, out of conference series, all coming here this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be great for our fans to see, people from different locales. Obviously, we start with Holy Cross, but, Kennesaw State's program, a new head coach that has tons of talent. I mean, they're bringing everybody out of Atlanta, so you're going to have tons of good players. You have Indiana, a program that's had tons of players drafted over the years, obviously has been to Omaha during the Tracy Smith days, and Schwarber and Sam Travis, a lot of names that you probably know at the professional level. You have all those teams that have had a ton of success in our conference, and so, I mean, I don't think you could ask for a better home slate, for us to have. And, we're going to challenge ourselves on the road, too. Going to Jacksonville, who was a regional team last year. We'll go there the second weekend. And, of course, you got the multiple games with Bama and Auburn, and go over to Georgia Tech, who's a top 10 program. We're going to put ourselves in a position where if you play well, you set yourself up to be in a nice place come late May. Thanks, guys. Thank you, guys.
All right, guys, we're going to turn it over to Trey Leonard, transfer in from Louisville. Will be in the outfield for us this year, and we'll go ahead and take questions for Trey.
Hey, this is John Johnson from Mendoza Eagle. Just start a little bit about telling us how you got to Troy, what made you feel like it'd be a good fit for you here.
Yeah, so finished my year last year at Louisville. Wasn't sure what the next step was going to be. Ended up entering the transfer portal, and having such a good relationship with my coaches from Louisville, they called me and they told me, hey, there's this new coach from Troy, played at Louisville. He's a dude. He's going to be up and coming head coach, and he gave me a call, and we made a relationship. That very day, and those next following days, I committed right after that, and it's been great ever since.
Well, tell us a little bit about Sklar, because we're just, getting to know him as well. What's he like on the field as a coach?
He's someone, he's competitive. He doesn't like to lose. Being a Louisville guy as well, there's a lot of things that you see in him that I saw my coaches from there. He likes perfection. He will be your friend, but also, coach you and do whatever he can to get you better every day. He will let you, have areas of space if you're working well, but, if you don't make adjustments and if there's things that you don't get better on, he's going to confront you and make sure you're getting better each and every day. And he wants the best for all of us, and he'll always, do anything he can for us.
Nick Brooks with WTVY. Kind of talk about your strengths and what you can bring to the team this season.
I'm someone, as an older guy, played a lot of baseball. I'm someone who wants to be a leader on and off the field. I want to be someone who other players and teammates can talk to if they're going through struggles. I've gone through probably every struggle possible as a baseball player over the years, and I just want to be someone who's having fun. I'm someone who talks a lot. I'm crazy on and off the field. Like, I have fun, and I just want to be that person who can put a smile on everyone's face, get them laughing if they're struggling, if they're stressed. Just doing whatever I can to help the team win.
Hey, Trey, you said you went through some struggles. Can you expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, so my freshman year at Louisville, I redshirted. That was the first time I've ever, watched a game from that perspective. The year we went to Omaha in 2019, in our regional, the final game, actually dropped a ball in the top of the ninth for the game to end up being tied. We ended up winning, thankfully, but yeah, there was times where I didn't know if I was going to stay on Louisville, and it was up to me if I was going to keep getting better or stay the same and end up not being there. But yeah, I come in every day wanting to work and get better, and it's allowed me to see the game as having fun and not stressing too much or worrying about things I can't control.
Hey, Trey, Adam Solomon, Alabama News Network. From what you've seen this offseason, what do you expect the identity of this team to be once the season starts?
We're going to play fast. We're going to play hard. We're going to be competitive, and I don't see us giving up at all. How practices and scrimmages have been in the fall, we had to work hard. We had to earn it, and with how competitive and how good of players we have on this team, you can't come in and assume you have a role or assume you have a certain spot. There's plenty of guys who may not be in the starting nine but could play multiple positions, could pitch in multiple situations, and we're a team who I think we're definitely slept on. There's not a lot of people who will probably be talking about Troy, but I think as the season rolls and we get going that people are going to start realizing who we are.
All right, guys, we're going to turn it over to freshman All-American, Sunbelt Conference Freshman of the Year, right-handed pitcher Garett Gainous. We'll go ahead and take questions.
Hey, this is John Johnson from the Dothan Eagle. Talk to us a little bit about Sklar, how, since he's been, perhaps he's with your game.
Can you repeat, John? It kind of went out on us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you about Sklar, since he's been there and you've been working with him now, how he's perhaps helped your game.
Yeah, he's been a big part of our program and myself personally. And it's always different when you have a head coach come in that has more of a pitching side to him. And he's been able to really get personal with some people, figure out what kind of role they can play and how they can develop as a person. And I think that's the biggest thing that he has taught all of us is figure out what kind of player we are, what kind of pitcher we are, what kind of hitter we are. And it helps with every single type of situation that we come in contact with.
You came in as a freshman and had a great year. How much more comfortable are you even more going into a second year as a player, as kind of a leader now, I guess, on the staff?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't use the word comfortable because that's just I don't like the word comfortable because I don't want to sit there and think that I'm the guy and I'm always going to be that guy that pitches on Friday nights, Saturdays, whatever it is. And I mean, obviously last year played a big part in where I'm at today, and all I want to do is just build off that.
Nick Brooks with WTVY. Just kind of talk, what have you done in the offseason to kind of work on? You were Sun Belt Freshman of the Year, Pitcher of the Year. Just kind of talk what you've been doing this offseason to better your game for this upcoming season.
Yeah, I think last year I didn't realize how much of stress that it puts on your body, a full season of college baseball, especially coming off of a high school season where you really don't pitch as much as you think you do. And so the biggest thing in the off season was getting in the weight room, getting where I can get my body more flexible, more obtainable with any kind of stress, and as soon as we get back into the fall, just progressing back into the pitching side of it and keep going from there.